As we press into setting our hearts on God and developing intimacy with Him in deep devotion and spirit connection to our Father in heaven, we may have increased spiritual experiences. It's something that's wonderful. God begins to reveal Himself to us in ways and varieties of methods that may be completely new to us. Some of these may be well out of our comfort zone, such as visions, trances, spiritual experiences, which are kind of like visions and kind of not. They kind of feel like you're actually transported somewhere. Through our imagination, we may find our imagination is suddenly awake on a whole new level, and we're beginning to, as we look at things around us, we begin to see something overlaid on top of it that's spiritual, and we begin to see things with our mind that otherwise we wouldn't see. And this is how Holy Spirit sometimes opens things up. Another common way that this gifting begins to awaken in people is through dreams. So you may feel as though you're having a lot more vivid dreams, and I mean really colorful dreams, and you know the dream has a storyline. The dream, as you recount it, makes sense as a story, but they may be totally bizarre, and there's a whole language out there that helps interpret dreams from a Christian point of view, but also from what God is saying, and the whole mystery is that God speaks to people through dreams. Um, you may also get inner knowledge or prompting of the Holy Spirit and suddenly just have like knowledge revelations, downloads of things from heaven that suddenly you receive them in your heart and you just know it's true. And this is what happens when you dwell with God in spirit. It's a wonderful thing. We may even experience hearing God's audible voice or hearing audible voices of the angelic realm. Completely normal. Just want to reassure you in that it is quite rare, but when it happens, it's completely normal if it's God's voice. And it can appear like someone is speaking to us directly and conversing with us about God's mysteries and His truths. One example of this is when it was maybe 15 years ago. I was praying in my room very early in the morning and talking to God. And someone came into my room. They knocked on my door and came in and said, "Lee, who are you talking with?" I said I was just praying to God. And they said, "No, you were certainly talking with someone in your room, a man. I heard another deep voice that wasn't yours. And it was loud enough to be heard outside of my room. I didn't hear anything." So this person, God was awakening them to the reality of the spirit realm. What was happening for me was I was dialoguing with God in my spirit. So I kind of felt His responses in my spirit. This other person heard His responses audibly. It's a mystery, but it's how God works. So as the reality of the heavenly realms around us become more prevalent, we may even see the presence of angels and spirits that belong to God. So one example of this is when, at that same period of my life, I was praying for something, and it was a trial that I was going through. I needed some help. So I cried out to God for some help, and suddenly, before my eyes, I saw a golden angel. He had a shield and a sword, as most of them do when they appear, and he was incredibly gold. Everything about him was gold, from his hair all the way to his clothes. And he stood in my defense, and he surrounded me with a golden light. So I was very aware of a presence of darkness and evil at that time. As soon as the angel appeared, that presence went away, and I went to sleep in peace. So, yeah, some people may see angels in physical form. Others may be able to sense their presence. This is the most common one, sensing the presence of angels. How you sense them, or as you journey with the Spirit of God, you learn, as I said before, to discern between spirit realm and soul realm. As you begin to understand the realm of the spirit, you can then discern an angel's presence, mostly through how you feel in your body, sensations, or sudden sort of bubbly, excited feelings. Some people actually see like glittery lights. Other people see sort of a form in light, and others get an impression. Other people will see it's like an outline. Other people will feel a certain thing as they walk through the angel's presence. Angels are made of spirit, so we can walk through them. Um, yeah, so I'll cover all that in the later chapters of these sessions. But it's just here as a tidbit to say it's perfectly normal and it's perfectly okay, but we'll cover it at a later point.